This is Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton campaigning with Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley during a stop in West Des Moines. Cotton is 45 years old. Grassley got elected to Congress 2 years before Cotton was born. I asked Cotton his game plan as he takes his 9th trip to the state.
Well, I was very grateful to get reelected a couple years ago in Arkansas, so it gives me the freedom to travel the country and campaign for other great Republicans running for the House and the Senate, and that makes me more effective in Arkansas as a senator as well, so we can be in the majority. As we were in the first 6 years we were in the Senate, and we haven't been this last year and a half, and I don't intend to be in that situation again. So you take Chuck Grassley, for instance, there's no path for us winning back the majority in the United States Senate if Chuck Grassley is not reelected, and we hope to make him the president of the Senate again, as he was for a few years. Likewise, in the United States House, Iowa's 3rd District is probably one of the key 3 or 5 battleground races in the entire country, and I don't see how we can win back the majority unless we elect Zach Nunn to the United States House. And again, that makes me and that makes us all more effective. If we're in charge in the Congress, we set the agenda, we write the legislation. Some of the bad legislation you've seen over the last year and a half would have never come to the floor and gotten to Joe Biden's desk if Republicans had been in charge. Maybe we could have helped Joe Biden fulfill his campaign promise to govern like a moderate as opposed to a far-left ideologue.
Does Chuck Grassley need your help?
I'm always excited to come campaign for Chuck Grassley. He's been a great leader and a good friend and mentor in Washington. I just wish he would quit challenging me to push-up contests on the campaign trail.
Oh, there's a video of both of you. You both held your own on that deal. So how do you, when you come to town here, this is a place to meet people as they start eyeing people for 2024. So how do you have those kind of conversations, both publicly and privately?
Well, that'll be a very important election, no doubt. I mean, we can begin to turn the direction of the country around, restore confidence in our government from a lot of America if we win in 2022, but we'll really need to win the White House and win even bigger majorities in the Senate and the House in 2024. But we have to take one step at a time, you know, as they said in the Army, crawl, walk, run, and therefore we have to focus on what the close target is, and that's this election, is winning back the House of Representatives and winning back the Senate and setting up the party not only in Iowa but around the country for a very strong presidential election cycle in 2024. So I'll focus on the election in front of us. On future elections, I'll get to those in the future. So
in November, which one has a bigger impact on your decision? If you all have a great November or a disappointing November? You know, because you can make a sales pitch either way, right?
I haven't thought that far, but I'm hoping and praying and working hard for a great November.
All right, so what about Donald Trump? Trump's still out there trying to convince people that he didn't really lose in 2020. Well, Cotton says he will personally decide on his future, whether to run for president in 2024 after the November midterms this year, and it doesn't matter if Trump runs again.
And he was a great president for Iowa for those 4 years that he was in office. Iowa prospered, and obviously Iowans delivered their electoral votes by a very strong margin for the former president in 2020. So I think when you're thinking about presidential politics, whatever the year is, whoever you are, if you think that you can win the election and govern the country effectively, I don't think you worry about the calculations of other people. There are going to be a lot of accomplished and well-credentialed candidates in the race anytime you don't have an incumbent president. Governors, senators, cabinet secretaries, maybe a former president. So that's just the way I would think about that, and I would encourage anyone else considering a presidential race to think about it as well.
But isn't it kind of different in the sense that you have a former president saying that he got screwed over, it was a bunch of fraud? You're not out there campaigning saying that, right? You voted to certify here. So, I mean, isn't your party kind of split on that? Like you either trust the process or you don't, right?
Well, I got to say what I've heard this week in Iowa is very similar to what I hear in Arkansas, is that while our voters are concerned about election integrity, and that's why Iowa and my legislature has passed laws to improve the quality and the integrity of our elections, what they're really thinking about is making ends meet at the end of each month. With Joe Biden's inflation getting gas almost to $5 a gallon, and diesel over $5 a gallon in Iowa and Arkansas alike, or the price of groceries going through the roof as well, struggling to make ends meet. It's those kind of current pressures and anxieties about the future which will drive the election this fall for people like Senator Grassley or Zach Nunn. And that's the way most elections work. Voters are focused on their kitchen table concerns and the challenges they face. Sure, that's informed by what's happened in the past, and I could give you chapter and verse about why Joe Biden is responsible for the inflation that we see, the chaos at the border, the rising crime.
You can't say he's solely to blame for the inflation, right? I mean, other countries have inflation.
He's primarily to blame for inflation running this high in America. There's a lot of reasons that we could have lower inflation. For instance, the amount of oil and gas that we have in this country, that they've really put the brakes on and caused investment to run away from the energy sector in a way that's driven up prices very high, not just for gasoline and diesel, but for electricity and other kinds of energy as well, which of course is the worst kind of inflation because it flows through to everything else. Anything that's driven on a truck, which is anything you buy, or the cost of doing business at a factory, cost of doing business at a farm or a ranch. No, President Biden is responsible for most of what ails America right now.
So what's up? What do Republicans do?
Well, so we can, like I said,
spending's already been out there. Right?
So the spending in particular, as we're coming out of the coronavirus in early 2021, spending another $2 trillion. I think most people, even a lot of Democrats now, will say that was too much money and it wasn't needed at that time. Whatever we needed a year earlier in the middle of the coronavirus, when we still didn't know exactly the full extent of the harm it might inflict on our people's health, in part because Chinese communists were lying about it, not giving us the information we needed. By the spring of 2021, to spend $2 trillion to send out massive stimulus checks to people who didn't need it, who weren't working, who could work, or for that matter, prisoners all across the country. There's no doubt that contributed in the short term to inflation. But other Biden policies have contributed to this continued inflation. And as I said, especially the energy policies that are really hamstringing production of oil and gas and coal in this country, from which we still get the lion's share of our electricity. And again, energy inflation is probably the worst kind because it flows through the cost of everything else we do in our lives.
Much more to talk about those issues in the weeks and months ahead. Insider's Quick Six is next, including a question about his colleagues.